It's a kingdom. Everyone's on the bus, and we're the only ones on the bus. And my sister and her girlfriend are Simba and Nala. They're taking selfies. The best place.
He keeps calling it the haunted house.
That's not the haunted house.
Here's the haunted mansion?
He calls the haunted house.
It's a big house.
It's not a house.
It's a big house.
It's a mansion. It has more than 2 bathrooms.
Every time I think of that house, you know what it reminds me of? That Django? Mr. Canday? How he lives in the big old plantation and stuff.
I'm sorry, I love that one.
Also a great movie.
Never seen it.
Dude, my dad laughed so much when they shot that dude's private parts off.
Who's that on that hook?
Look how humid it is. Even the plants are sweating.
All the nice pictures people take of plants has to be over here with all the little morning dew.
Did you? We're here and we're trying to get to Expedition Everest. And my sister's trying to take a picture.
Oh, hell yeah.
We're getting on Expedition Everest for rows 1, 2, and 3.
First row, first rank.
We're nervous sighted. Yeah?
Everyone look over.
Way better than Matterhorn. Way better.
Scary. Anticipation. You're like, Diana still loves it. Where's Gib? Outside of Asia, and we found some mac and cheese with the sweet sauce.
Oh shit, I flipped it backwards.
Shrimp and sweet sauce, and pulled pork and macaroni and cheese.
Focus. I don't know.
It's fine. There it goes. There.
That's our first snack here.
Yes, we haven't eaten since breakfast, so we're gonna eat.
And your animal spotter for a photo safari through the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. How's everybody doing today? Here. Hey, before we head out and explore the reserve, just a friendly reminder, we are going to be driving over some pretty bumpy roads, so make sure to hang on tight to your personal belongings. If you look above your head, you're going to see some animal spotting guides. It's a pretty comprehensive list of all the different animals that we might be able to encounter today. There's no guarantee that we're going to see every single one, but we usually have pretty good luck spotting most of them. And if you're planning on taking pictures, I would go ahead and get your cameras out right now before we enter. Because as soon as we enter the reserve, animals can appear at any time, from any angle, and we never know how long they're gonna stick around. And we're just gonna wait here for a moment, wait for our final go-ahead from the warden of the reserve. Now the warden has permitted us to make a few stops on the reserve today. And we are just going to limit ourselves to a few stops. Most of the time we are going to be rolling slowly by most of the animals as to not disturb them. Alright, we got a lot of ground to cover. We're going to get started here in the Little Ituri Forest. That forest is home to some of the more reclusive animals on the reserve. Sometimes it can be a little challenging to see. If you look over to your right hand side, there's an okapi. He's out near the bamboo and right near the bushes. He's got a dark brown coat. A little hard to see his hindquarters, but he's got stripe markings on the back legs. And they do bear a passing resemblance to horses and zebras, but they're not equids, not part of the horse family. They're actually the only known relative to the giraffe. Now, okapi and giraffe have a very similar skeletal structure. They also both possess very long tongues. Their tongues are about 18 inches. It's long enough to lick their own eyeball.
Everybody's
I can see an antelope species up on this hill to our right. Those are greater kudu. They're some of the tallest antelope in Africa. They've been about 5 feet at the shoulder. If you look into our left-hand side, way out by the rock wall, is an eastern black rhino. That's a fully grown black rhino. It weighs about 3,000 pounds. They're a really rare sight these days. Eastern black rhinos are a critically endangered species. There are less than 5,000 left on the entire planet. Most are found on protected reserves, just like the one we're visiting right now. Part of the reason they are being watched so closely is to protect them from illegal hunters and poachers who might target them for their horns. Other than those hunters and poachers, there's really nothing else on the planet that poses a threat to them. Up on the hill to the left, there's a few more antelope. And this species is called bongo. In their home country of Kenya, the bongos are known as the ghost of the forest. They get that nickname for two reasons. Number one, they're not seen very often. In fact, some people go their entire lives without catching a glimpse of them. And number two, they can move almost silently through the thick underbrush, just like a ghost. We're coming down the Safi River. This is one of the main waterways that flows through the reserve. Now, there are some hippos in the water. I saw a few over on the far right side. And you really got to crane your neck back there to see them. So we're going to go downriver, see if we can maybe find a few more. Oh, yep, I see a few. These ones are a little easier for us to see. Hippos are the heaviest river dwellers in Africa. They can tip the scales at 5,500 pounds. Now those hippos keep to the water for most of the daylight hours, because the water is where they're cool. That's where they feel comfortable. When they're on the shore for too long, they risk dehydration. Usually won't emerge on the land until the sun's gone down. That's when they search for food. They'll eat about 80 to 90 pounds of vegetation every day.
What is so real? No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
We got the little bridge up here. We're going to just go across very carefully. We're passing over some Nile crocodile. These are the largest African crocodiles. On average, they're 16 feet long and they weigh 500 pounds. And they can very easily take down prey that's twice their size, like wildebeest and zebra. They can eat about half of their body weight in just one meal. Now luckily for those larger animals, crocodiles tend to prey upon animals that are already in and near the water. So they mostly survive on aquatic or savanna. Savanna stretches on for about 500 miles of eastern Africa. It's like a gigantic natural superhighway. And it's traveled by millions of migratory animals every year. The savanna is home to many iconic African animals like giraffes, elephants, lions, and cheetahs. See how many we'll be able to spot today. I can see some giraffe off to our right-hand side. In fact, there's a little giraffe calf out past the tall grass there. Hopefully we'll be able to get a closer look at them in just a moment. One walking towards us here, an adolescent giraffe. These animals grow to an average height of 18 feet. They're about 6 feet tall when they're born. And they have a pretty lengthy pregnancy. It's about 15 months. They give birth in a standing position. So one of the very first things that a newborn giraffe will experience is a 6-foot fall down to the ground. They shake it off pretty quick though. They're up and walking within the first 45 minutes of their life. Now, one of my favorite animals is over on the left-hand side. They are a little difficult to see. These are a springbok. And This is as large as springbuck get, only about 100 pounds fully grown. It's a very athletic little animal. They can jump 6 feet straight up into the air and leap 13 feet in a forward direction. They're also lightning fast. They can reach a top sprinting speed of 60 miles an hour. Very large antelope up ahead. And that large antelope's heading off into the tall grass. That's a Patterson's eland. Yeah, elands are some of the largest antelope in the world. They stand about 6 feet at the shoulder. They can weigh up to 2,000 pounds. All right, we're just gonna move slowly past the giraffes here.
Oh, dude.
You can see that little giraffe calf is sitting down over here on the left. The giraffe's a browser. It spends most of its day eating from the trees and the bushes, usually around 18 hours. They don't really get a whole lot of sleep. Most adult giraffes only sleep about 60 total minutes a day. They will break up their sleep into these little micro naps. They fall asleep for a few minutes, sometimes a few seconds at a time. It is interesting to see these giraffes sitting. They usually will only sit if they're completely comfortable with their surroundings. The wildebeest travel in very large groups. It's not uncommon to see herds of 100,000 or more migrating across the grasslands. There's a very large horned animal under the palms on the right. Those are Watusi cattle.
Precious babies.
They're also known as the Angoli cattle, or the Egyptian longhorn. Their horns can measure 6 feet from one tip to the other. Those horns serve a very important purpose. They help keep that animal cool. The inside of the horn kind of resembles a honeycomb structure, blood vessels running through it. They pump their warm blood into the horns, and this helps relieve their excess body heat. Now we can see a couple more elands over here on our left-hand side. And they're becoming a pretty common sight on reserves. It's estimated that about 50% of the world's eland population lives on some form of protected land. Inside, across the water, way back in the shade.
Oh,
Now, comparatively, both of these animals are very large. Mandrills are the largest monkeys on the planet. They can weigh up to 100 pounds, but they really don't come close to the elephant. The elephant is the heaviest living land mammal. Fully grown, the African elephant. When elephant calves are born, they weigh between 250 and 300 pounds. That's one of the longest pregnancies for any animal on the island here. These are the tallest and heaviest flamingos. They grow to heights of 5 feet. They weigh in at about 9 pounds. Now, these are very social birds. They've been known to gather in groups of over 30,000 individuals. Now, these birds are gray when they hatch. They get their pink color about a year and a half into their life. This comes from after eating a lot, I'm talking 3 square meals a day, of brine shrimp. That's a tiny, they do use those wings. They will puff them out when they are running at fast speeds. This helps them to change direction quickly. Now they are the fastest two-legged animal. They can reach a top speed of about 40 miles per hour.
Now my house.
Go ahead and let her get across. Yep. If you look down the dirt path there, it's a southern white rhinoceros. A warthog is from the same family as the domestic pig. They've got those gnarly tusks at the end of their snout. Look closely, you'll notice they have 2 sets.
Oh, look, him too.
Let's probably get fed over. They bring in the cat? Oh,
It's another one of you. You having a good time? Watch him poop.
like Matilda?
Oh, she likes that.
Oh, mini donkey.
Where? Look at him go! It looks like Matilda. Oh.
Bro, just gonna chew on your leg? Cool. Okay.
You look so sad. Babe, look.
Whoa. A floating.
Oh. That's crazy. Jesus.
Dude, it's gonna look so nice at night, right?
Going on over there, but we're not going over there yet. We're taking pictures.
We're waiting for it to get dark because apparently everything glows in the dark here once it gets dark.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. We got like maybe 2 hours left of sunlight.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Roughly.
Let's listen for banshees. Let's see if they heard us. I don't hear any banshees. Do you hear any banshees? Neither. How about back here? You hear any banshees? Okay. They don't hear us yet. Okay. We gotta let them know we're here. Let's bring it up!
How long do do you think this wait was?
Like an hour.
Oh. This looks crazy on camera.
All of the little things floating.
The wood spirits?
Little dog things. Just ran across. Yo, whatever the name of that ride is, I don't know, it's like the Pandora ride, but like the little circle-y one or whatever, fuck that shit. We waited an hour to go in a fucking tiny circle. Fuck that shit. So, we'll post a picture of my face. Because this giant pretzel broke apart on this, but it was as big as my head. Like as big as my head. And then it was really good beer cheese sauce. It's not just like regular shitty nacho cheese. Beer sauce. Fucking delicious.
Our one full day at the Animal Kingdom with the Tree of Life in the back.
So we were talking shit and we waited in line for like almost 2 hours to get on the Avatar ride. It's like a virtual one or whatever, 3D glasses. Kind of like soaring over California over there at DCA, but a fucking million times better. As soon as we got off of that ride, we're like, fucking worth the wait. It was a shit.
We'd wait 2 hours again for it. That's how good it is.
So on our scheduled programming, we do not have another day of Animal Kingdom for us to do. So
there's my mom. Hi, Mom.
So hopefully we can squeeze in some more time at Animal Kingdom before we come back. So yeah, go back to our condo at the, what is it?
The Kidani Village.
Kidani
Finally
Village.
got it.
back to the suite at Kidani Village. I guess we're gonna go have dinner, maybe the hot tub. Tomorrow's Universal. A lot of people don't know we're fucking doing Universal.
We're doing it all.
We're doing it all. We're doing Universal. People thought we were just coming to Disneyland. Hopefully also before we leave, we go to Gatorland. I want to lay down on top of a fucking alligator. So
39 bucks to do everything, so why not?
And feed them.
Yeah, I want to feed them.
Yeah, but we're hyped for tomorrow. We're supposed to do the Hogwarts Express at fucking Universal tomorrow. So we're pretty hyped for that shit. I'm more hyped for some fucking food right now though, and the hot tub.
Yeah. So we'll see you back at the hotel. What are you doing?